It was stated, and I quote, "The government of Liberia's complicity in the RUF's illicit trade in diamonds and its other forms of support for the RUF are direct challenges to the United States foreign policy objectives in the region, as well as the rule-based international order that is critical to the peace and prosperity of the United States. Therefore, I find these actions by enter into binding commitments and obligations with the African pairs and remain steadfast, resolute, and unyielding in their fidelity to those agreements in the face of such unrelenting and punishing pressure from powerful."
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up when you stop slipping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know y'all sleeping now. Y'all gotta wake up soon, yeah? Okay, let's go. The government betray us. I said it's a lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us. The government.
Yes, we can go ahead. Not looking behind us. On the real issues. The real issues that the people feel so dear to their chest. Somebody says, oh yes, the economic issues. The issues we call the bread and butter issues that the people are most concerned about, and not the normal political chicaneries. It's just beating and showputting and showmanships we see coming from our lawmakers and our leaders. So yes, we know we want to see real change, and everybody yearns for change. Now the change is here. The question is the change delivering for you, or according to your expectation? Are you okay? Are you satisfied with the system we have? With the style of governance that we are experiencing as a country? Should we be okay? Are there hopes for tomorrow? I'm telling you, brother. Where are the schools? Can we brag that at the end of this regime there will be a country called Liberia, a better Liberia that we envision in 2023? Whatever the case is, let me say very, very pleasant good evening to all of you across the country. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to those of you in the diaspora. Our friends, our fans, our followers, our critics, and even those of you who do not like the things we say and the way we say them. It's good to have you joining us tonight. All of you joining us tonight on the show. Yesterday was an unfortunate day. Power, 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 and power, and power, and power. So yes, we just could not do the show. But whatever the case is, we like to apologize to all of you, but we're back here tonight to talk the real issues. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they can So something trended over the weekend here. This whole Avanho thing, what we popularly know to be HPX deal, landed in the legislature. I think I can say thanks to Senator Amara Kone, who made that public. I stand to be corrected, but I think that was made public by Senator Amara Kone because I saw that on his page first. And so we've been seeing comments from lawmakers, including Senator Kone. Some are stating what they're going to vote for, what they're not going to vote for, and all of that. And I think this is an interesting discussion that. And we in the media, some of us have decided to make it our duty to run series of different conversations on this entire Avanho deal that is before the legislature. And so yes, we can go ahead. As I know that Front Page Africa and the Liberian investigator published separate articles about this thing on yesterday.
Why? But now the question that we ask.
So all of the social media pages, were flooded last night with the dismissal of the Mines and Energy Minister Wilmot Pay. Many believe that the dismissal, everybody have different reasons. But whatever your reason is, the fact is the president has exercised his constitutional authority. Do we have the authority or the right to question that decision? Yes, we do have. We as the people, we can demand answers. We can demand explanation. So yes, let's talk about that as well. It's important. So yes, that's the size and shape. Let's take a break from our sponsor, Crime Stopper Liberia. Our Facebook page is Misbehaving, so you can only join us via YouTube. But our Facebook page is Misbehaving. It's not going through. I don't know why they're sending us long message, which we are going to read. But let's take a word from our sponsor, Crime Stopper Liberia.
The Landisa justice in this country.
Peace in Liberia. Peace in Morocco.
Yo, hello. I want to talk about violence. More violence is indiscriminate. It can happen for any reason and to anyone. Until we do something to serve the sort of vigilante justice in this country, none of us will be safe. My Liberia is Liberia of hope. In my Liberia, it is possible. Violence is not part of my Liberia. Violence leads to property damage, injury, or even death, as we have seen in recent months in several parts of Liberia, including Monrovia. Talk to people in your community about violence. Stand up against mob justice. Be a community hero. Liberia is all that we have. We must all unite to uphold the rule of law. This is Old Man Sam Sion, your community crime fighting partner. Thanks for listening. This is Old Man Sam Sion.
They want peace in Liberia. Peace in Morocco.
It's about music. There are crimes in many places. In every community, you can see. So if you see crime, you report it. Don't take law in your hands for the right authority. That it can't take your law in. Crime Stopper here for us. We need safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor. If you see a human talking, I mean you check. Do it for your safety. If you see it, don't keep it. You must call to report it. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Sion.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us.
Okay. Thank you. So, folks, we are experiencing some problem tonight with our Facebook. Let me see whether I can read what Facebook itself is sharing on our screen, and they're telling us that we are having trouble streaming. We are having trouble streaming to Facebook. This may be an issue on Facebook's end. This may be an issue on Facebook's end. It is possible the stream was ended or deleted on Facebook. Is it possible the stream was ended or deleted on Facebook? We will keep trying and let you know if it's resolved. Please check Facebook to ensure the stream looks okay. If this continues for a while, try creating a new live stream. Just removed this destination from the stream and re-add it. Okay, so that's what going on. So let me remove it and see, and then wait more. You can see what I can re-add it. But we are live on YouTube via YouTube. So yeah, those of you who may want to watch the show, you can join us via YouTube. So, folks, a lot of things happened over the weekend, and we said yesterday we've already told you we couldn't do the show after 45 to almost 1 hour, 45 minutes to almost an hour. We just could not run the show because of some technical delays or issues. But it's good that we are back tonight to talk the issues that we have to talk about. So the CDC Europe is let me stop this one. So CDC Europe is beginning her convention on the 1st of November. M2 is going to run up to the 3rd or 5th of November, between that. And so they are also going to be having election to elect new leaders of new leaders of the CDC Europe chapter. So all of the CDC chapters in the different European countries will be converging in Brussels, that's Belgium, to carry out their program, their convention, and then the election of new corps of officers. And so we're following that closely. We're actually supposed to have them here tonight, not the candidates. We are arranging a debate online with the leadership to see whether we can get them. I don't like to call it, especially in these intra-party, electoral processes. I don't like to normally call it a debate. I love to call it a dialogue or a conversation. So we are arranging to have a dialogue here on Thursday, where all of the presidents, especially the presidential or the chairpersons, for the vying for the different for the different organizations, like the general chair for the CDC Europe, the women chair, the youth chair, for all of these different organs of CDC Europe, to have them here, the different candidates, and let's have, so we can have a dialogue. It's going to provide a platform for them to share their vision for the European chapter of the CDC, which I think other parties need to know. The people who want to organize, the people who want to manage, the people who want to steer the affairs of the CDC in Europe. It's a big place. It's a huge chapter, a huge membership base. So yes, we need the most effective individuals, and partisans to lead the reform process in the party's European chapter. And so, like I said, we are following that. Tomorrow we will have the leadership of the CDC Europe the leadership, we will have them here tomorrow talking everything that you need to know about the convention and the election as well. So yes, we have them here tomorrow. So we thought to let you know, in case you were on vacation here and don't know, or you may have forgotten. Yes, so election activities begin on the 1st of November for CDC European chapter. So all of those from Holland, Belgium, UK. I know my man Masakwe from the UK. Yes, should be. I think he's contesting as chairman for the European chapter. So they all will be there from the Sweden and Norway. So they all will be there to participate in a convention. This, I missed one of the events in Sweden. I think that was in 2022. They served me an invitation, but I could not honor that invitation for some other reasons. And I promised them that in 2023, I would have attended the event, and then that didn't work again. So this other inauguration, I will go for it. Yeah, that one I have given them my assurance, my commitment that I will go for the other one. So by playing the game for a year ago, you were in Jogo. So yeah, playing for it. Yeah, I'm Ghana. You can just jump easy, man. Maybe I'll spend 2 days. I come back. I want a Europe. So that's it, and we wish all of the candidates their best wishes, and hope that they're going to keep it peaceful, friendly, and brotherly, and sisterly, and fatherly, and motherly, and because everybody is one. Yeah. So, folks, I thought not to get involved with this lady called Fatima. You guys remember the lady that is trending on social media about her misinformation and her deceptive presentation that she made before the Senate Committee on Internal Affairs, where she was quizzed about her knowledge about governance or about the definition of government. She was asked whether she's familiar with her function as Deputy Minister for Urban Affairs. And I think, Senator Blebo Brown of Maryland wanted to know what is government, her understanding about what government is. Senator Dillon asked a question about what exactly she's going to be doing at the Ministry of Internal Affairs, what is her role and all that. That was, So, no, they don't answer whether she went over prepared text of her presentation, and well, people will answer about So, but she had a lot of misinformation. I saw people running all around with that. In my mind, I thought probably it's because of my experience. Okay, so we have this from 2 points of view. The 2 points include the legislative aspect, the theater of politics, the euphoria that normal occasion nominees, especially first-time nominees, go into that place. And then the second point of view will be the political point of view. Because you see, folks, I say this to you, if you don't enjoy frequency in the legislature, you go down there with your master degree or a PhD. I'm not talking about the way she go loud. No, not lying about talking about. But you could see that she was nervous. She was fumbling and all of that. You could see that that self-confidence vanished if she had it. I mean, judging from her different normal radio appearances with the different platforms that she's popularly known for, compared to what the posture that we saw during our confirmation hearing. I think the confidence that I have seen in some of the small videos I see people posting on Facebook, I think that confidence vanished totally from in her. And once you lose confidence on public platform or stage, you are doomed for disgrace. And I think her composure, or I should say miscomposure, led her into fumbling and even trying to overhype and exaggerate herself and her credential and all her IQ or her knowledge about the other, which did not exist internally. And, so it was a national embarrassment. From the political standpoint, so there's 3 points. Yeah, the political and the normal. The third aspect will be the political maneuvering. That the political maneuvering that normally drives decisions in the legislature. It's mostly influenced by ruling party alliance. That's going to be the third point. So the second point is the political point. You see, when you're into politics, you have to be extremely careful. Because if you feel putting your mouth on everybody, like us here at Freedom FM, you feel putting your mouth on everybody, you feel criticizing everybody, and then you are given the opportunity now to occupy or play a similar role that those people who you've been criticizing over the years were playing. Now you are given the opportunity and you cannot perform, or you do not even have the slightest knowledge about the space you've been given to go and provide service to your country. Then it becomes embarrassing, and nobody at that point is going to compromise their criticism of you. You know why? Because you have a long-standing history of criticizing and critiquing other people. So nobody will say, "Oh, you're a woman, you're forgetting me, you're the girl." No, nobody will say that, because this girl has a history of condemning other people, disrespecting other people, denigrating other people, including people who have been there before her. So at this point, there is no sympathy for any gender. So if you want to know why they bully on Facebook, yeah, that's why. She's paying a price. She's paying a price. So I would say to anybody, she deserves the lashes, the punches, and even the conks, the political punches and conks that are being thrown at her. She deserves them because she bullied other people. She latched at other people. She punched other people. And she even conked other people. So it's time for people to punch her and latch her and conk her, because she too has proven to a larger extent that she has little or no knowledge of the office she's been appointed or nominated to serve. Now, from the political maneuvering point, which heavily bordered establishment, the repetition of the legislature, if it has one, and the ruling party alliance thing. Because you see, this is not the first time a nominee has gone before the Senate for confirmation and fumbles. I witnessed leaders, ministers, heads of entities before the legislature. I stood in the Senate. I cover that place. I always like to remind people. I stood in that place and saw Matilda Parker, the former managing director of the National Port Authority. I saw her legs trembling. I saw her legs trembling before the House. I saw her miscounting her words before the Senate. As smart, eloquent, and educated she is. It took Matilda over 30 minutes to gain confidence. Senator Amara Connor is another reference. I saw Senator Connor appearing before the House. I remember as finance minister, he took a decision to slash the budget of the legislature, and it was before the Senate. and that became a serious issue. I think it was somewhere around between 2014, 2015, or 2015, 2016 years, between there, 2015, 2016. And the Senate had invited him the first time. He didn't show up. The Senate took serious offense to that, and they said it was contempt, and they were calling him to jail him and all of that. It became a huge political issue. He went there. He said they asked him to apologize. He said he was not apologizing. He has done nothing wrong. He's prepared to go to jail. In the middle of the conversation, Amakone started, he started fumbling. He started. You could see his facial appearance had changed. You could see fear. You could see that he was uncalm, unsettled in the middle of the conversation, because that place, look, if you sit outside and start to look at the lawmakers in that place individually, trust me, you'll be misconstruing the strength, the power, and the influence of that place. When that place decide to unite and go after somebody, the strength, the power, I don't know whether it's spiritual or what, but you can see people who are worthless. You can see lawmakers who are actually useless to the society. But when they sit down or stand to ask you a question, you fumble, you jitter to even respond to them. And somebody said to me, Austin, this is the power of this theater. This planet, this theater. That's the power of the theater. It comes with extra power that if you're not strong or you don't have huge experience in public service, it takes away that from you. I saw that also with DeWitt Famous, who is at NASCOP. He went down there, he could not even see anything. He was trembling. So, I can go on and on and on to name. You saw the guy from Public Works, Giddings. So they go down there, smart people go down there. I'm not saying Fatima Omba smart because she didn't even know the definition or the meaning of government. She doesn't even know what she's going to be doing as deputy minister for urban. Other countries are calling urban minister, urban secretary. So she doesn't even know what urban is supposed to do, what urbanization is about, because but at that point, after everything she has done, she lied on the oath, and when you lie on the oath under our law, that's perjury. Lie on the oath, that's perjury. That's a felony. You can be prosecuted and go to jail for that. The legislature is doing nothing. They've not even pressed charges against her. They care less to even listen to all of the fact checkers information that are coming out about her credential. Trust me, there were, at the time people were lying on their credentials, there were no fact checkers. Now there are fact checkers. Now, because those of us who were in the media doing mainstream journalism there, not mainstream, but mainstream reporting, we were researching, we were publishing and broadcasting, but the legislators were not taking our publication or our broadcast stories into consideration. They were still going ahead and confirming people with lacerated credentials, with lacerated characters. They were still confirming them. So it was not enough. Now it has been backed. The researchers now, those of us who were good at research, our information, our contribution have been backed by facts checking. So, to a greater extent, she found herself in a difficult point. If there are serious people in the Senate, but I know over 80 to 90% of them in our Senate, they are unserious. So nothing serious is going to come out of the Senate. Fatima is going to get confirmed because of her alliance with the Unity Party. So everything you see those lawmakers doing there is just filibustering. That's showmanship. They are going to confirm her. They are going to confirm this flop, this prat. They are going to confirm her into that position, and she will go there. She will go there. She will do nothing there. She will Facebook all day. In the next, she go do talk show. The next morning she dress up, dress fine, sexy, go in, get in your government car, go to work, you pay around your short skirt, go in the next, you go do talk show, and that's all, and nothing is good. Now let's have let's talk small about urbanization, because you see, and this is why we get it wrong. And the only reason why I'm having this conversation is because of this portion I listened to in her response to the lawmaker who asked her about her role. What exactly at Blebo Brown? What exactly are you going to be doing? What does the art? Have you read the art? He said, yeah. What does it say? What is your role? What are you going to be doing? That girl start talking something about coordinating activities, the chiefs, the elders, the towns, the villages. And I was like, does this girl really understand the meaning? Does she really know the meaning of urban? Because at that point I got broken down. On a serious note, the fact that she said she was going to be coordinating, working with the she didn't mention local government people. Say she was like, I'm going to be working with the mayors, the commissioners, the towns, the chiefs, the elders, and everyone, all the citizens, and everyone. Then I was like, this girl is totally outside her mind, her understanding, even though she don't get some. It's totally outside the office she's going to. She's clueless. At that point, let's say we want to compromise. So at what point do we compromise? This is the question I was asking a lawmaker today, a senator too. I was asking him, like, at what point do we compromise? Because I called him and he was like, Mama, you know, in that place, they won't bring bipartisan the lecture and think to me and all of that place. I was like, okay, I understand. There are political compromises that are made. Granted. Because if it must say, even me who here talking to you, if I become lawmaker in 2029, obviously there will be a time where we have to make political compromises. But the political compromises should be in the interest of the state, in the interest of the people. And the state interest should always consider the reputation or the integrity of that building. Because that compromise is a decision that is going to reflect on the integrity and the reputation of the legislature. So I was like, Chief, you can't be trying to rebrand the legislature. You can't be trying to restore confidence in the public confidence in rigging public confidence from the people to rigging the people's confidence in the legislature. And you guys are still justifying attempting to make these same decisions. Hey, you're not going to attain that anytime soon. So at what point do you compromise? The lady does not know. The lady does not know. Forget about the definition of government. The lady lie on her oath. She lie on her oath. She didn't just lie on her oath. She does not even have any clue, any idea, the tiniest knowledge about the nature of the work she is going to be doing. Now, at this point, how do you compromise and say that political compromise? The woman does not, she lie on her oath, and then she does not even know the work, what she is going to be doing, the terms. She doesn't know. At that point, I can't compromise that. I can't. It means I will be giving somebody a job at the repetition, at the detriment of my reputation. Go and take the job and let the people see me as a useless person. Because that's not being useful to the society. That's not. So at that point, it's an issue. Those of you watching maybe via YouTube, that's it. Facebook is misbehaving. Let me see whether I can try to add that back again. Since they say we should try, let me try again. Okay. Yes. Let's see what they will tell me. So at what point do you compromise? Now, That office they call the Deputy Minister for Urban Affairs. That office is so important because you know what? We're talking development every day. We're talking development. We want to upgrade. We want to improve. We want to advance. It means we have to talk city planning, urban planning. We're talking urbanization, modernization. And we're talking urban planning. We're talking about laying out the city. We're talking about that is squarely technical. Because we're talking city ordinance. We're talking development. We're talking roads. We're talking school, residential, all residential, policies and all of that to govern our city, which comes from the city ordinance. Where do we have schools? Should we be in 2025 and we still having schools in, for example, residential areas? Public latrines. Do we have them? Why don't we have them? Where do we put them? Recreation centers. Do our cities have recreation centers? Why don't our cities have recreation centers? Do our cities have libraries? Do our cities have modern infrastructures? The stadiums, basketball gyms, high schools, up to. I mean, do we have these things? Do we have road networks? Are our alleys open? Can people drive? Can do our cities? Are our alleys open in our different cities where people can drive through to their homes without passing even somebody own the house and all of that? Should we be having place? No offense to West Point, right? Because we're talking urbanization. These are things we should be talking about. Should we have people living in West Point in that kind of under this kind of condition? Should we have an area that should we have slum? Sorry, I forget what West Point use slum communities. Should we still be having slum communities in 2025 in our cities? Should we be having slum communities in 2025? Urban planning. How do we know? If the answer is no, how do we relocate them? The slum communities. What do we do with those makeshift structures that are in the heart of the cities? In the heart of our cities. You go Benzi's all different ministry, you see the entire place behind the, I know they call it flag bar, where it's a whole slum community. These are things the Deputy Minister for Urban Affairs at the Ministry of Internal Affairs is supposed to be working with the Monrovia City Corporation, with the different city corporations, and that's the and the Ministry of Public Works to see change. That is seeing change. Urban, modern places. You can she Deputy Minister for Urban Affairs does not have anything to do with town chief. She got rack to do with town chief. WP, the Deputy Minister for Urban Affairs, aside from the spirit of coordination of that, her office, the scope of operation does not have anything to do with town chief. The Ministry of Internal Affairs has a department for rural. That have no responsibility. You hear people can say urban and rural areas. So once you hear urban and rural areas, just know the urban area refers to the city limits. Of city limits. So I hear someone I heard talking, the town chiefs, you go Momentum to Momentum town chief beyond race as Deputy Minister for Urban Affairs. Working with him. We have all of these cities that have city mayors that fall under you, direct under you, that you are supposed to be coordinating. to ensure that their cities meet 2025 or 21st century standards. That's why I remember there used to be a city conference, an annual conference of city mayors. These are the conversations, because I used to work with the late city mayor of Broadview, George Curtis, before. These are things, these are conversations stakeholders used to be having. That's how you started seeing the city police expanding into the different cities. And today Broadview is having conversation about Broadview City Police, because these are things that cities are supposed to have. You saw that's how he saw the regular laying off of Broadview City, opening all the roads, going to Virginia there, opening all the roads, and having conversation to open the alleys, break all the structures that are in the alley, urbanization, alleyways. This thing, and I saw another by chance, I think, try building a gym in Broadview, Redneck, beyond the football field. So, all and upgrading the Army base, I think, the high school. These are an enemy Scarborough. So these are conversations that mayors are supposed to be, or the Deputy Minister for Urban Affairs is supposed to be having a discussion with city mayors and development partners. How can we improve our cities? How can we upgrade our cities? Waste control, waste management in the cities. You go Broadview City, beyond Lokere, you see a whole pile of that there. Why should we be having dumpsters anywhere in the cities? In our cities? We should not be having dumpsters anywhere in our cities. There should be designated sites. Moravia City has some designated sites. Do Broadview cities, Prince City, do they have the same? These are urbanization conversations that the Deputy Minister is supposed to be presiding over. And these are things she was supposed to be communicating to the Senate when she went there. At least this one would have, if she had an idea, a technical idea of what she is supposed to be doing as Deputy Minister of Urban Affairs, then I think that it would have created grounds to say, okay, let's compromise politically. But to a greater extent, she comes with no knowledge about urbanization, urban planning. Because she did strictly with urban planning, so she should have gone to that place with a strong point, a strong message, a strong program, a strong idea, a strong presentation on urban planning, urbanization. Her whole presentation that should have centered around urban planning. That was that. Nothing else. She had done her research from the ministry. What are the different urbanization programs, urban programs, the different departments there? What are they structured into? What do they do? All the departments under her. Get them, list them. What do they do? What are their lapses? What are the challenges that she identified? How does she intend to navigate her ways through to ensure that those challenges are minimized? Setting benchmark or timeline, presenting it to the lawmakers, and asking. Based on that strong presentation, then you conclude with an appeal to them for their support to urban planning. Because they are partners. That plays a whole program area that should be presided by technicians and engineers, people who have a deep understanding in urban planning. There's not somebody who just sit down on show somebody answer one or two questions and give her 2 minutes, answer one question. She's finished talking all her big political thing. Then her head or score is empty, and she's given a job to at the Ministry of Internal Affairs. That is, and over the years, I have noticed that particular position has always been given to partisans instead of given to engineers or development experts or technicians. People will say that I don't even know what that department got, because that department is supposed to be having a whole engineering. There should be an engineering department under that Deputy Minister for urban affairs. Yes. So two people say I remember there was a suggestion that you know what, we keep this place as a policy arm to guard our planning activities for our different cities. So that place is supposed to be a policy theater, a policy think tank that will be planning urbanization or urban activities, developing cities, growing cities, negotiating cities, partnership with establishing or creating networks for the different cities with other cities in different countries, doing project proposals, writing project proposals for beautification and different and other stuff that the ministry of, that you can list with the Ministry of Public Works to draft. For example, you could sit there and say, you know what I mean, we want to develop a proposal that we open the alleys in all of our major cities in Montserrat County. All the cities in Montserrat, we are laying them off. The ones that are already laid off, we open and have structures building the alleyways. We're going to break those structures down. Ministry of Public Works will come in. You source funding for donor partners. Public Works come in and provide the technical guidance. They go through, open all the alleys in all the cities in Montserrat. Say, for example, say my first year agenda there, we want to make sure that all the alleys in all the cities in Montserrat are open. Those cities that are not laid off, good that the government is talking about bringing yellow machines. We want to ensure that we're going to use the yellow machines, working with the superintendent of Montserrat County and the Ministry of Public Works to use the yellow machines and ensure that we lay off all of the cities that are not laid off in Montserrat. You say these things to the senators, they'll say, yeah, the woman has an idea, she has an ambition plan. Even though she came here, she was talking about, she didn't know the definition of government, but at least she has an idea. And this is a technical explanation. Yeah, we can work with this. We can bring her around and hire people to come, because there are technicians who will be hired in a department who should be hired in those departments or not. Because there's a department for urban affairs. She has a deputy minister, and I think she should have an assistant minister for urban affairs at that place. In the department, the director there, with deputy or assistant director, and technicians, engineers. Before used to be in a department. See, now doing city planning. City planning. That department is the department that is supposed to be planning for all the cities across the country. You know why they send that place under the Ministry of Internal Affairs? Because they could not send the Public Works. They send it there because the Ministry of Internal Affairs deals with the chiefs and elders and souls and everybody, the locals. The Ministry of Internal Affairs is the ministry for the locals, the local people, all the people in the country. They're living in the communities. So they honor mayors, commissioners, town chiefs, paramount chiefs, and all of that. And urban planning or city planning will obviously require acceptance. The communities have to accept urban planning because there will be victims. Structure will be demolished during the opening of alleys, during the building of roads, during the building of hand pumps, during the building of running of water, running of pipe and water, the electricity expansion. So that's why they say urban planning. So that's a huge tax. It's a huge office. Because that office is supposed to coordinate with all of the service provider, government service provider in the country. We're talking internet, that Lepteco. We're talking water, that Mo Ali, water and sewer. We're talking electricity, that Sheriff. So, in public works, because if you're talking opening alleys, you have to listen with the Ministry of Public Works. So she's like, that position is a strategic position to Liberia, to Liberia's urbanization. If there's an urbanization policy or strategy they have there, that is like the Mayfielder. Because she has to coordinate all the, because based on your policy, so I would say that as Deputy Minister for Urban Affairs, say, you know what, within the first 1 year of my service, I want to make sure that all cities, Ansi Township, I say all the cities in Montserrat, for example, should have electricity. Or all the cities across the country must have electricity, must be electrified. Even if that's solar, the cities. That whole area. Or we want to focus on rural networks in all of the cities, creating access for the people. Or we want to ensure that they have with this way the telco and the private service providers alongside Orange to ensure that we take towers, communication towers to all of the cities across the country. We can't be having cities and there's no network. Somebody wants to call, they have to go sit down in tree. No, that has to stop. We are going to list with the telco and the Ministry of Public Works, because obviously engineering work will be done there, and the GSM companies to ensure that all of our cities across the country must have access to communication and internet. Because imagine I want to speak with a city mayor in Grenku. I can't get the person because the person not get internet, or the person doesn't have network. That should not be happening in the 21st century. So you see how large the responsibility of the Deputy Minister for Urban Affairs is? She presides over urban planning for the entire country. She presides over urban planning for the entire country. But yet, you are supposed to ensure that the people get access to basic social services. That is urbanization. Access to basic social services. That is urbanization. More definitely carry water in Babolu City. I'm sure the deputy minister who was there said they don't even have any role to play inside. But these are things that the deputy minister for urban affairs should be planning along with the service providers or the different sector heads. These are things you should be planning. Water program. Sit down. What is your water program for all of the cities? What is the electricity program for all of the cities? I mean, plan. What plan do you have for electricity? What plan do you have for water? What plan do you have for sanitation? What plan do you have for security? What plan do you have for infrastructure? What plan do you have for roads? To be specific, you need to have these things. Have them. Real programs. Introduce real policies. From your water policy, your electricity, your infrastructure, I mean, just everything. Sporting program, education, you have all of them. When it comes to education, you want to the Ministry of Education and the Commission on Higher Education. Mr. Minister or Madam Minister, we can't have our cities not having a public high school. High school. All of our cities, please include in your program. Or I want to work with you to ensure that all of our cities across the country must have a high school, at least a high school. We can't be having our cities, there's no high school. I mean, it does not want to be a city. You have cities in Grenku that don't even have police depot. I be having cities, say, oh, city, you need a police depot. Is there, have you reviewed the city criteria? The criteria to be called a city? Has she ready? What does she think about it? Is there any reform that she wants to propose to the government or to the legislature to amend some of the acts or statute or propose to the president to dissolve some of these cities that were established through decrees? It requires extensive reading, research. I think that's a policy area down there. That is a serious policy area. Because thinking, planning, leading, directing people, innovating, and coordinating. Yeah, leadership. And coordinating with heads of the different sectors that provide services, these basic social services. Housing authority, you can do with all housing authority, because people are supposed to be living in modern structures in the city limits. You can be having Broward City. They say Broward City. They say you as soon as you get to Broward store, you see one mod house right on the road. That is not supposed to happen. That's not urbanization. It's not supposed to happen. On the main road, you see people building small, fully thing on the main road. No beautification. These are things that you're supposed to be working with the different city councils to start instituting city ordinances that will meet or satisfy modern day standards. If you get your money, you want to build your store must meet this standard. So the city will set the standard approved by the Department of Urban Planning, and then sent to the Ministry of Public Works. And when you want to build your store, then you go to Public Works to obtain your construction permit. After you pass through the council, the city corporation say, yeah, okay, the land is available. We'll be there. You can build there. We review the ordinance. Okay, you can build there. Go to the Department of Urban Affairs for review. Department of Urban Affairs reviews it. Yeah, okay, no problem. You can go to put a note or attach a cover letter, send it to Public Works to review all the technical details and everything, and give them permission to build. City planning, urbanization. But these people, so they sit down and think or act like they know. Like they know everything. And when you start acting that you know everything, that's what the problem is. That's what the problem is. And when you prove now to know nothing, then people start chasing you. Then you start playing victim. The case with Fatima. Like I said, I didn't want to get involved. I don't get involved with people, professional career. I don't get involved with it. But that explanation that took her down to town chief, working as Deputy Minister for Urban Affairs and working with town chief, that one got my attention. And so I needed to speak to it. Don't sit down and wait for you to be appointed or nominated before you start reading extensively about government or governance and the functions of these different ministries and positions in government. You have to read extensively to know these things. Who knows tomorrow somebody will ask you before even you being nominated. For us, we get calls every day from people asking us things. I mean, legal questions, asking your environmental issue, and engineering issue. So now we call our engineering friend and our environmentalists to be asking them the questions before him. But and then it places us in a position that we have to go read. Because so many, my man, he call him Wonderful Port Regis, sorry. Wonderful Regis, you go ask about engineering, maybe you just send you someone a link. Go read. You know what I'm saying? You ask me, I will explain, but go read. So you supposed to read, and if you don't read, you can go back to him to ask him again. And you can go back to ask him because you gotta read. But when you read, it helps you. It gives you additional or new knowledge. You read, you learn new things. You know new things. And you go out there and defend yourself. It's a credit to the man. But at least I know. That's why the kind of work we do for us, we don't need to be told to read. We were taught that the strength of the work we do reading. Because when you read, you will know. If you don't read, you will not know. And if you don't know, you can't be a journalist, especially so a talk show host. Because every day you start repeating yourself. You see old topic. Oh, Baba not doing anything. Oh, Baba not doing anything. Oh, Baba not doing it. Oh, Baba not doing it. Oh, Baba not doing it. Then your audience will get tired with you because no new conversation. Some days, take your time and introduce professional conversation, career-based. Some technical issues. You may not be able to go details, but it will be informative. And people will appreciate your knowledge about another area in public service. And they will always want to listen to you. So Fatima, sorry I have to do this, but it was necessary. When I pay this, Mesa, you see, the president has the right to hire and fire. Because we are aware that, yes, the Constitution gives the president the authority to hire at will and fire at will. That's why he says all appointees worked at the will of the president. They work at the will of the president. Now, what I do not subscribe to, and I'm not going to subscribe to that, is for Joe Biden to wake up one morning and say, "We won't pay you, are dismissed because I have bad dream about you." Okay, fine. That is an abuse of the law. That is an abuse of power. The Constitution did not give people power because they wanted it to be abused or misused or misinterpreted or misunderstood or misapplied or overstretched. But in our country, we are power abuser in this country. We know our public officials know how to abuse power and justify. You just saw it from the Chief Justice. Recommending a son for appointment and justifying it. And justifying that. Talking about that, Isaac Jackson, Isaac Jackson wrote the Office of the Ombudsman and they have responded to him, and they have responded to him, and the investigation is going to continue. So these things become necessary for all of us. For all of us. The president has the authority. But I was in a chat room today, and I think the conversation is still on. Former Minister Samuel Tuah introduced a conversation, a discussion, and he wanted to have to brainstorm. And basically, the conversation was about the possibility reforming or amending our executive law to require the president to provide justification or explanation or information. So it may not necessarily be justification or explanation, but information. And it may not be him in the office. Because mind you, when somebody works in the government at that level and the person is dismissed just abruptly and all of that, or under suspicious circumstances, it raises eyebrows about the person's reputation or integrity. Because right now at the point everybody is speculating. One group is saying Wumape, it was dismissed by Braka because it bonus on the reputation of the nominee and the appointee. The nominee or the appointee and the appointed the appointed power. Because Braka has the power to appoint. But his reputation, if he cares about it, is also at stake. There are two allegations now. One is that Wumape is because of Wumape's strong integrity and his strong disagreement against AML. That's why, against Braka's will, that's why Wumape is being fired. Is there any information to prove that? Any fact? No. Another information has it that Joseph Braka wanted someone a managing to go through, and he didn't want to go through the regular process to acquire the class A license, and he wanted to get another license. And Pay said, no, you have to go through the process. So with all of these speculations, they still borrow on the reputation and integrity of the executive mansion that's been occupied by Joe Braka. At that point, it becomes morally necessary for a statement or an explanation from the office of the president over the decision. What election is abrupt. Coincidentally, also, HPX or Avanho has just submitted her deal or MDA before the legislature. Obviously, Wumape is the sector head. The money they're going to pay is the sector head. there are further suggestion. I mean, or speculation that Pay does not support Avaro. And Baga supports that because of pressure from Western power and Western authority. And so he dismissed Pay. So with all of these speculations, in the civilized democracy that champion openness, transparency, and accountability in public service, an explanation from the appointing power becomes necessary, highly morally necessary. We sit down and watch BBC and CNN. We go to these countries. We see how people are open to their people. Only in this country that we can have everything. We believe everything should be heading from the people. Last week or 2 weeks ago, the former US president came down with prostate cancer. He was being treated for prostate cancer. The US, there was an official statement released from the office. They didn't hide and say, oh, they've been a former president, so the public is supposed to know Joe Biden is being treated for prostate. Barack came down with COVID, they were hiding it. Donald Trump came down with COVID, it was global news. It was not in hearing. So we are just a different group of people, but we want to be like those people. The Ghanaian president was saying, the executive management published on our website that he was being treated for chronic fever. Chronic cold. They published it on their website. As old as the entire war, as old as other African presidents, just the other day, Malabio, Minister of Information, published also that he was not in good health and he was being treated. As state was, is that his vice president was going to be coordinating activities of the government in consultation with Malabio. From whom? At least our neighboring countries are trying to copy. A Ghanaian president will dismiss or fire somebody like they did to their finance minister once, and they will tell you why they fired him. The man, he will believe that his policy was not up to task. The policy did not align with our fiscal reform we're carrying on. And we believe that the proposal he made was unnecessary. The proposal to walk out of the IMF program caused Ghana serious shock. Today, they are still recovering from that shock. The finance minister had to resign. I think he was fired. They didn't have it. In this country, we say no. The people are not supposed to know. Civilization, my people. How come we do not want to be civilized and we want to be in charge of government? We want to be in charge of government and we do not want to be civilized. This is the only country where I see the president will say, anything I want to say about my reputation, anything you want to say about my family or my children, you'll go ahead. I agree I'm corrupt. I agree I'm supporting AML and Pay is not supporting AML. I agree. But I'm not talking fine. I'm not telling you fine. This is the only country to create vacuum. And you know what? Those of us who are opposition voices, because we oppose Baka, these things are going to play in our favor. Because I could say that tonight, with all this Latin conversation that I decided to have tonight, I could say that tonight and just shut corruption. And everybody will say, yeah, that's true. But at times we have to educate the society. We have to have some literate conversations, so that people don't just think everything about us is just politics and politics and politics. I wrote a good friend in executive mansion yesterday. Since yesterday, I wrote the person. Let me read it. The people, we do not want to, and this can, okay, look, we will always disagreed. We will always disagreed. So I call the person in. If I really tell you what I'm talking about, so let me not read it. It's okay. I will keep it confidential. Once I read the text, I want to read the text without the person's name, but once I read the text, I will do. So but I messaged a person about the project in Lofa for follow, just asking them 2 questions and requesting maybe a 1 or 2 paragraph explanation. Just to save them from denial tomorrow. Say, no, I didn't see, I spoke in context, and blah. Well, up to now, the person has not responded. The person is professional. I will go start talking tomorrow. Then I don't want to be the unprofessional person or the unethical person. Oh, but why you not reach out to us? You misquoting me. You're misinterpreting me. I spoke in context. You should have asked me the context I spoke in, or you should have, you see? But those of you who are just listening to us, you guys don't know these things, what we go through. We wish out these people to get their context in if they speak. We want to use their context to run our commentary or our analysis. So they don't say, oh, tomorrow, my man, I spoke in context, and you took it, and you took my statement out of context. Tomorrow, do you think I will have to go back? Or I will want to go back? If we did not have relationship, I wouldn't want to go back tomorrow to make any inquiries. I see, I hear them, and give them my interpretation. Because I have a strong skill to analyze and interpret. I can brag about that. So I don't have to ask which context you spoke. I could place it in my context and run my commentary or my analysis and walk away. That you will be clarifying tomorrow. The UP folks will have to lead. They will have to govern. The president can sit down and sleeps all day and say, I do not owe you explanation. Woman pay down woman pay down our pa, uncle, our brother. It is not about woman pay. It is about the integrity of the office. It is about the reputation of the office. If a payer wants to sit down and liable to ruin his reputation, for him, that's his business. For us, we are concerned about governance. We are concerned about governance, and we are concerned. Look, the open budget office at the Ministry of Information that used to be there actively functioning under George Weah, it is shut down. It is shut down, unsupported, if I'm not supported, and there is a complete non-compliant posture from the Ministry of Information people. The open budget office. Open government office. The people do not want to be open about anything. You dismiss somebody in these complicated periods. If you say, and somebody argue a former deputy minister in our government, I respect that big brother. They arguing the president is not, and the president will be having the president or asking the president to justify his decision. So I was like, initially I really wanted to have gotten involved in the discussion, but when I saw that people say, we can be asking the president to justify his decision, and I'm like, is this country really ready for change? Is this country really ready for change? Are we ready for change? Are we ready for real-time governance? Are we ready to provide leadership, open, transparent, and accountable leadership to our people? Are we ready for this? We're not ready for these regimes. A transparency regime, accountability regime, openness regime. We are not ready for these things. Because I see people justifying why the president should not say why he dismissed Womapi. I fire you because if Womapi's opinion about Mitar or Avanho does not align with your government's economic vision or your government's fiscal target, when you say a bad thing, what is the crime? in other countries, the people say I have dismissed my man's and energy minister because we have a deep. Hey, Donald Trump. What's it, Donald Trump? We have a 1.8 million. We have a 1.8 billion deal that I am pushing for. That's going to see 60% of that money invested in this country, providing jobs for our people, upgrading our infrastructure, infrastructures in different categories: electricity, health, education, and increasing our revenue base. This 1.8 billion is going to take our budget from 700 million to 1 billion, meeting Joseph Boakar's target, meeting his ambition, his fiscal ambition. Boakar says in 2026 he wants to reach 1 billion. If we want to take our budget to 1 billion, if he reaches that, good. That is a legacy achievement for him, because since post-war Liberia, you'll be the first president to take our budget, to raise our budget from 400 million, 500 million. Eddie took it from 400, 500 million, and it's around 600. We can took it up to 700 million. Then Boakar took it to 1 billion. Boakar will be leaving a legacy behind, hiring the bar for others to follow when he leaves. So if WOMAPA's vision, if WOMAPA's opinion about Ivanhoe does not align to that ambitious plan of Joe Boakar, and you dismiss him or you ask him to resign, what is wrong in that thing that we should keep to our chest? It tells you our thinking, our mentality. And I'll say this to you. If I am president, every action that I take, the Constitution gives me the authority to act. When I act, I must communicate with the people, unlike a bolus on national security. Unless a bolus on national security. Once it does not infringe my national security protocol rules, the public must know my action. Because it is not about me. I am the president. I'm giving the constitutional authority to hire and fire at any time. It does not mean when I fire or when I hire, I can justify. Donald Trump, a person studying somebody, this man has 23, 24 years of experience in money and economics. He has a history of managing a $2.8 billion project on 2 years or over 15 years. With a profit history of 8.10 billion. He will give you all history. This is the reason why I'm hiring him to preside over my mines and energy industry. How do you call that? They say the man is justifying. How do we think in this country? And educated people are having this thinking. The person I'm talking about has a doctorate degree. And that was his opinion in that chat room. That if we can be making law, and the reason why people are even going to the extent to start talking about making law or reviewing the executive law is because our leaders do not feel accountable to us. They don't feel answerable to us. So everything that we have to put in the law, even though the ones that are in the laws are not even being adhered to fully, but at least when we put it in the law, then it becomes a requirement or a legal obligation that you have to fulfill. Knowing that if you do not do it, you'll be violating the law. Knowing that if you do not do it, you will be violating the law. Because people do not want to be open and transparent. So we have to use the law now to force or compel people to be accountable to us. You can be serving me and you hire somebody today. You see, you can tell us why may have motivated you to hire the person or encourage you to hire the person. But even saying why encourage you or attracted you to hire the person, you've sold your government positively. You're not selling that individual. It will show that, yeah, this man means business. He's hiring serious people, seasoned professionals, seasoned technicians, well-experienced individuals in his government, and the reputation of the government will be going. This is the perspective we should now start seeing governance, leadership from. Then from the personal perspective. it is because we continue to see leadership governance from the personal perspective. That is the reason why we build demagogues and call them leaders, and give them or install in them the mindset that they are not accountable to the people. That's what we do. We give Baga power, and somebody tells me Baga should not be justifying. The constitutional requirement that say you can appoint and dismiss at will, that is a responsibility. It's not just an authority or a right. It is a responsibility. In honor of practice, you are supposed to account for your stewardship. When you hire, you must justify why you hire that person. When you fire, tell why you fire the person. We want to know that the person underperformed, or the person's vision about a particular deal or program does not align with your vision that is supposed to put food on our table, give my child quality education, and provide health care for my honor age and my pregnant women, and all of that. So when these deals are being, so hey, come to us and talk to us, communicate to us. The president will be committing no crime. The president will be reducing himself to nothing. As being speculated, the president will not we can reduce the presidency to him as explaining or telling you why he fired. How many times the president will fire? So it means the president will not be explained. And somebody said, so every decision the president takes, you can't explain. But they supporting Donald Trump, they celebrating Donald Trump. That how open he is with the government and posting everything, every action. Before he even takes an action, he will announce, I'm about to do this. When he does it, he will say, I have done this. True to my word. We're celebrating the American democracy. We say the American has a literal democracy. The American has a strong democracy. Those are the impetus that make the American democracy stronger and better and flourishing today. That we keep referencing. The Ghanaians will do the same. How come when it comes to us, then we say, no, we are reducing the president? How are we reducing the president? That's not reducing the presidency. In fact, that's elevating the presidency. That's increasing the repetition and the integrity of the office of the president. And we need to have these conversations back to back. So I will conclude with a summary on this HPX Ivanhoe thing. Beginning next week, probably, since it's Tuesday, we'll start, but beginning Monday, we'll start having the conversation about HPX billion pieces. But I'll summarize what I want to say to the lawmakers. I read a piece from Senator Amara Cornell. And for me, I saw some sharp contradictions. But again, these are political posts. Those are politicians. They want to show to their constituents that they are working and that they are on top of information and all of that. And to some extent, too, there were international pressure from some of these Western powers about this whole HPX deal that I can talk about. So for fear, So all the lawmakers you see, the government officials, they are under pressure. They are under Western pressure to pass Ivanhoe deal. And like I say here tonight, Ivanhoe deal will be passed within a jiffy. They are going to pass that. The legislature will pass Ivanhoe deal. Regardless of all of the odds, they see when they pass APN terminal nonsense, and they criticize it today. When it went back to them, they amended how you call them method. When it went back, they amended it. They extended the people time. B Martin D, they criticized it. It went back to Capitol Building, they did secret party and extended the MDA. Right? That's the same thing they are going to do with Ivanhoe. And I'm going to tell you, as a talk show host, a research journalist who's been around for long, I'm going to tell you that legislature is one of, if not the most useless legislature that Liberia has ever had. That body is going to pass that deal, Ivanhoe deal. You know why? They don't have an option. So on this one, I will not. I can say I will not blame them. The place are already bankrupt, morally bankrupt, and then there are external pressure on their back to pass it. So they are not going to do anything. All the things you see, all the lawmakers who posting, I will support Avaro, I will support HBA. They're not acting on their own. They are faking. They are faking. The first thing some of those guys are not even going to read that deal. You know why? Because the pressure on them. Why are you going to read an NDA when you have Western pressure on you? Some of them will not read it because the pressure already on them. And those who will come publicly to criticize that deal, government officials, they might, or the risks being sanctioned. Those who might come publicly to criticize that deal, the risks being sanctioned. Now, I've not read the entire agreement, but this is my initial observation with the agreement, which is not enshrined in the agreement. I am 100% aware that the government of Liberia has already granted permission, which they are going out to ratify in the legislature. Granting authority to HPX or Avaro to export Guinean oats from Guinea and take Guinean property, pass it through Liberia, and ship it to Europe. To do that, diplomatically, economically, business-wise, from the trade standpoint, that cannot be done in isolation of the Guinean authority. When I say that cannot be done, you can take Guinea oil from Guinea and ship it to Liberia, use Liberia's territory or Liberia's land, and ship Guinea property to another country. There are many reasons that we're going to talk about doing next week. Why you can't do that just easily. So when I say in isolation, I mean you can do it without Guinea's approval. The Guineans or the Guinean authority has to say, hey, HPX or Avaro money our own. But we agree for them to ship through your country. If the Guinean authorities do not agree, you can't ship the oil from Guinea to Liberia. They have to agree in Guinea. Okay, y'all get lesson to man. How are you guys transporting the oil that you're mining from Liberia to your destination? Oh, we are going to use Liberia rails. No. That's not part of our agreement. That's not part of our agreement. Our agreement was for you to build your road and ship your oil. You can't come here. You want to be you can come here to mine our oil, and because when you build your own road here, it's going to invest. That's investment in our country. It's going to stay here. You're not gonna extract our oil. You put it on your locomotive and ship it to another country. Use another country's oil, rail, and ship it to Europe. Why can't you build your own oil? It's going to be expensive. It's going to be expensive for Avaro. They see that as extra expensive. So they said no. We are told that they said no. We can't build. We can't build oil. Real here. So we're going to negotiate with the Liberian authority. If they agree, then we'll come out to you and say yeah, and let them know. So as we speak, Guinea is already completing it. I think it's been Guinea is already completing a $15 billion investment in real and mining infrastructure. $15 billion investment in real and mining infrastructure in Guinea. And so the Guinean authority, the Liberian government, and this is what you need to know. The Liberian government has written 2 two separate communications to the Guinean government. I'm going to read our communication here on Monday next week during our conversation, or if possible on Thursday, because we don't have time. I know they want to call in. The Liberian government has written two separate communications to the Guinean authorities, requesting them, informing them of this agreement between they and Ivanhoe, and requesting their, I don't want to call it approval or authorization, but requesting their view. What do you think? These people have an agreement with them. They said their money all in Guinea from your country, and they want to use our room. We want to know whether you are comfortable with this, whether you are in the know, or whether you are comfortable. Liberia wrote two communications to Guinea. The first communication, the Guinean authorities have not responded to that first communication. The second communication, which is the follow-up communication from the Liberian government to the Guinean government, the Guinean government has still not responded to the Liberian government. If you read somebody want the first communication, please come to my other door. Or do you want to eat? Is this your car? Are you satisfied with your son visiting me? The person will respond to you. You send a follow-up. The person still didn't respond to you. What does that mean? What does that say to you? It says that the person is not comfortable. Diplomatically, that is a no. Diplomatically, that is a no. The Guinean government is diplomatically telling you, hey, that whole thing, we're not interested in our whole discussion. As far as we're concerned, we are building, we are constructing our road here. We are constructing our road here. So we're not having any conversation about any real thing until our project is completed. Diplomatically, that's what the Guinean government is saying to Liberia. So how can you write two communications to your Guinean counterpart who is hosting the oil that HPX wants to ship to Liberia, and the Guinean authorities have reneged, refused to respond, or is yet to respond to the Liberian government? Boom, you take an agreement and send to the legislature and say, y'all go pass it. Good. Let's say tomorrow, the legislature meets on Thursday, and pass the Ivanhoe deal. Say, yes, you are authorized to use our room. Ship Guinea, take my Guinea oil, ship it to Liberia. As soon as we pass the deal, Ivanhoe goes to Guinea to start uploading their oils on their locomotive or their trains to bring to Liberia. Guinea authorities say, no. Where are you shipping our oil? Where's the permit to use this corridor? Where's the permit to use the corridor? No. Or Guinea authority placed a suspension. They announced a suspension on the transportation of all the shipment of all their oils or their minerals in our country for the next 3 months. And call them to the table, because I remember when the road, what even caused the delay of the Guinean road that they're building is because the Guinean authority at one point in time last year in 2023 halted the junta leader there, halted the construction of the road project with Rio Tinto. They halted it. They told Rio Tinto to stop the project, the road project, and called them to sit down to have a new conversation and see where they stop and where they can resume. That's what delayed their project. After everything, all of the conversation, and the Guinean authority was satisfied, and then they authorized, they issued the go-ahead to Rio Tinto to continue with the project. Now, their project is concluding. That project is concluding. So in the West where we say, okay, we finish passing the thing, y'all go. Then, I'm looking at the time. Imagine I'm looking at the clock on the wall, not knowing the clock is not even working. I know Stevens, you have to come in here. The clock is not even working. And so Rio Tinto say, the Guinean authorities say, let's say we pass the deal and say, hey, okay, HPX, y'all go for the agreement, for the oil and ship to Liberia. Then the Guinean authority place a suspension or a ban on the shipment of their oil. What becomes of Liberia? What becomes of Liberia? What does Liberia benefit? But we already signed an agreement with Ivanhoe, authorizing them to share the rail with Beta. Meaning when they're sharing the rail, it means they're sharing cost. So they're going to be paying for maintenance of the rail. Beta is going to be paying for maintenance of the rail. You get the point? So when the Guinea authorities suspend the shipment of oil in Guinea, it means HPS operation will be shut down. They will not be shipping using our rail. The question is, will they be paying? Will they agree to be paying while the operations or the shipment of oil from Guinea is shut down, and they are not using our rail? Will they still be paying their share of the for using the rail? That's a big question. The lawmakers have to consider that also in the agreement. Because if they don't consider that in the agreement, put it in the agreement that in case of suspension or shutdown or scale down of your operation, you will still be paying, and the company will still be commit to paying her share for the usage of the rail. And let's see whether Ivanhoe will agree. Because we don't want to give them a contract on an MDA. They can operation shut down. Guinea authority complete their role, and then they say no. All of our oils will be shipped using our rail because they will pay for transportation. They will pay for transportation, and that money goes to the Guinea economy. So the Guineans want that money to go to stay in their country. You manage our oil. You use our rail to transport your oil, and you pay you pay the transportation cost. You pay for maintenance. You pay for insurance, everything. The money will stay here. We can sit down and allow this huge deposit of our oil to be shipped through Liberia. The resources goes to Liberia. So the Guinea authority say, let's hold on until we complete our rail project. Anything they want to do in Liberia, we can get time for it. It does not concern us. Yes, let's focus on our project. I was going through their stuff, and I was like, yeah. Okay, this is April 4th, 2022. This article is written by David Burrow in the this, which platform is this? Okay, this is the Real Journal. This is the Real Journal. Yes. This is okay. This is the IRJ, right? This is what the IRJ, the IRJ published. Listen to it. The International Real Journal said in 2022, Guinea and Mali giants agree US 15 billion investment, including 670 kilometer railway. That was in 2022. It said the government of Guinea has signed a framework agreement with Rio Tinto and Winning Consortium Simandou to continue development of the Simandou iron ore deposit. The agreement includes a 15 billion investment, which includes the construction of a 670 kilometer railway from Bela to Fokara, and a deep water port Amoribaya. They put Bena P from Guinea for the deposit. They will build the rail straight to the sea. They build a seaport and all. 15 billion investment. The Simandou deposit, which contains more than 2 billion tons of high-grade ore, was discovered more than 20 years ago, but has remained undeveloped due to legal disputes and the cost of building infrastructure to process and transport the ore. Under the new agreement, the line is expected to be completed by December 2024, last year, December, while commercial production at the mines is due to begin by March 31, 2025. Reuters reports The Reuters news agency reports that Guinea's ruling junta ordered the cessation. That's what I was just telling you about. The cessation of all activities at the massive deposit at the start of March, saying there had been no progress made on developing the project. China Railway 18th Bureau Group began building the railway line in 2021 under the contract from a winning consultant, but the government has pushed for closer collaboration between WSC and Rio Tinto to ensure the project is completed. The line, which skirts around the border with Sierra Leone, takes a much longer route from the old deposit to the coast than the more direct route through neighboring Liberia. Yeah. The deposit will prefer building the place because HPX is looking for a shorter route to transport their ore from Guinea to Europe. HPX. Let me read you what the Guineans say. He said, they say China Railway 18th Bureau Group began building the railway line in 2021 on a contract from winning consultant, but the government has pushed for closer collaboration between WCS, that is WCS winning consortium, one of the infrastructure giants, and Rio Tinto to ensure the project is completed. The line, which gets, meaning the rail, which begins from around the border with Sierra Leone, which runs around the border with Sierra Leone. The rail running straight. But it takes a much longer route from the old deposit to the coast than the more direct route through neighboring Liberia. So they simply telling you they created the Guinean government building a road that is longer, that ignores the shorter route from Guinea to Liberia. They said no, we don't want a shorter route. We know the route is short. We don't want it. We will build our rail and stretch it into Sierra Leone and build a port. The Guinean, so they say they're bypassing our route. They don't want to use our route. They want to build their own and stretch it. So they say they use the long road. They own our own and use the long road. It better we use a longer route and to own our own infrastructure than to use a shorter route and don't own our infrastructure and deposit or market Liberia's infrastructure and pay to them. So the Guineans say they're building their own. They will bypass Liberia, they build their own, which is a fair. As president, I will do the same. I want infrastructure for myself. Now, the question is, do you think for the Guineans themselves say, this project, we prefer building our own rail to stretch it into Sierra Leone to ship our own, than to pass our own through Liberia? The Guineans themselves saying this. How come now you want to think that it is possible that after the Guineans taking that kind of strong political decision to ignore transporting their ores through Liberia by building or constructing their own ore and stretching it into Sierra Leone's rivers or seas, and then they will come and say, HPX, our ore is taken from here, don't use our railroad bay. Go use Liberia. With some of these stronger Western powers that are believed to be beyond HPL, pushing HPX, anything can happen. But let's see how it plays. But the lawmakers must consider these things before passing that HPXD. And we're going to expand on this summary beginning Monday. Or we may start on Thursday. So you see what's in it. You also need to know what is in the deal. all the noise they're causing about infrastructure, this royalty, taxes, or what's in it? What's the last spend of the MDA? Of the see all of these things. So we'll bring that to you beginning Thursday, but we have to go. Let's take calls. I think we can take 5 calls or 6 calls. On 0776 104 104 0776 104 104 086 500 104. Those are the numbers to call to be a part of the show. Ahaji Kakaba, Christopher Siaka, Hamza Sharif from Philadelphia. Welcome. Christopher say we should sell the station, yeah. Mama, you sell the station and fix the Facebook page, man. So that's it. You're sorry. I don't know what's happening. I've been trying all along, but still the Facebook thing. And somebody Facebook is telling us that the problem is from them, not us. As I'm seeing that the viewership is increasing, so I think the Facebook thing just returned or just got restored. But is that we are already going. So that's it. This HPX thing. This whole Bintu Fatuma Serif thing, and this woman pay dismissal. We need to be more literal, and then we can call it a night here for us to go home. Good evening to you. Let's hear you.
Good evening, Austin.
Go ahead, my friend.
Good evening.
Good evening. You're live. Let's hear you.
Thank you very much for the information this evening. This is Mr. Green calling from Kuzo Army.
Okay.
Austin, my only question to this government is, where is our 20 buses that they were bringing? They said it was coming October or any part of September. But those buses, we are not yet seeing. What happened to our buses in the yellow machine? I don't want to drain to look people to come to Canary. Because in line to us so much, but they want they bought issue in the land with some million of the buses in the yellow machine. So it's a farm machine.
Thank you. I will try to speak with the NTA boss tomorrow. See if I can get something out of him tomorrow. Yes, good evening to you. Let's hear you.
Yeah, good evening, Austin from US. Otis Barkley, I do join you from McDonald Street West. Austin, this country will not sincere to ourselves. We're not sincere to anything that is coming to the country that are going to benefit the Liberia. Our lawmakers are not sincere. And we have a deacon who is sitting over the country presiding like, we don't even know nothing about God. Why Joseph Nima program will be doing this to this country? Doing all lot of fake things, taking money from people to create all lot of fake deals. People want to tell thank you, you're free every family because you are electing the Liberian people. I just feel Liberian who are playing dummy and just stay ruling in the I don't know how to describe the love. Joseph Nima program. Thank you for informing me the time, brother.
Thank you. We can take some calls and then we go home. Let's hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Kawa.
Good evening to you.
Yeah, my name is JB Wanyali, calling for District 13, Pizza Takuda community.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much for your education in this area. You know, we told our friends, we told the Liberian that all children program need well for the nation here. But people have believed him, and that now he realized to do everything. So, throughout the return of children program, for you to get benefit, he cleared his way. And he come out 2017 about River P know that Jesus program is not a cool man. But River P dedicate any Jesus say he applied to the scholar to the Liberal politics. 2073, Eddie Johnson celebrated that he killed a River P, killed, and I think about that did so.
Thank you. That's the call from this side. and see whether it's possible, or go back to that other line and take 3 more calls. Then we go home. We sincerely apologize to all of you. The Facebook has some issues. The issue did not come from us, and so that's why we're just coming up online. I see everybody's coming about it. Y'all miss. Y'all be playing to know. Yeah. Hey guys, see loyalty. All my loyalty they coming online by. Yeah, Facebook. You're sorry. Oh. Yeah, sorry. Ralph Cooper from Colorado, welcome. Peter Ling Roberts, welcome. P. Melvin Isaac says, thanks for the good job. William Massaquoi, welcome to the show from Pennsylvania in the U.S. Vincent Wille says, thank you so much for the update. And Tatas Raining Nut Chipley is joining from Margibi. So, like we announced on tomorrow, we're going to have the CDC Europe leadership. CDC Europe leadership tomorrow. They will be explaining to us the activities marking their convention and elections that begin on the 1st of November. That is beginning on the 1st of November and concluding your acclimacy between the 4th and the 5th, and so on in Brussels. And so. And then on Thursday, we're hoping to get all of the presidential candidates and those vying for Secretary General positions, and the youth chair, women wing chair, to have them here on Thursday for an in-house dialogue or conversation, to have them share their vision with us and what they would think. Yes. They should be the ones leading the CDC Europe in the different categories. So we'll have them here on Thursday. And then Monday we begin a series of conversation of this whole Armand deal, HPX, because there are a lot of important things that we need to flag out. We started them tonight. Ruwape says, dismiss. But Baga owes the public some conversation about this. So so we can go. Anthony Stevens, Alexander Sega, Marco Momo, Nathan Jabadia from Sando, Stephen Bass. Yes, we're going. But it was nice having all of you joining us tonight. So let's go. It's good to go. We'll be back here tomorrow on Wednesday. And Alexa Moba. Yes, those of you who've been asking, yes, I'm graduating from AMU on the 12th of November. We'll talk about that more tomorrow. Yeah, we'll talk about that tomorrow. Anthony Steven has to come here on the show. So I'm trying to look for this. Where is this theme song? So we can go on tonight. Okay. Tagun J, take us home. Tagun J, take us home. Okay.
My people, where you at? Wake from your slump.
So since you're keeping late tonight because of the technical issues we're having with the Facebook, tomorrow we'll spend 30 minutes to summarize the conversation we had tonight, so you have an idea of what we talk about tonight, and then we can proceed with our new conversations on tomorrow. So we'll give you 30 minutes tomorrow to summarize what we talk about today or tonight, and then tomorrow we'll move into new definition. So until we see tomorrow, by God's grace, do have yourselves pleasant moments in your respective areas. My name is Austin. Bye-bye.
I said we tired with the lies. We tired with the promises that led us to all our damages.